We are recording. Okay.
Welcome to episode 139 of The Kraken Pod, a podcast for Seattle Kraken fans, those new and old to hockey, and hockey fans looking to have some fun along with you. We try to go into what lies beneath when it comes to everything Seattle Kraken and the NHL. The Kraken reaction, since we last spoke, we are 1-3. So that continues, but we have a few things to chat about from those last few games. Plus, Gru is on waivers and he's not on the team right now. What's he doing? Where is he? Well, what's he doing with the Firebirds? We'll discuss. The future is bright. We will rank Seattle Kraken prospects. NHL news, as of this recording, Utah has a logo leak. Does Utah have a hockey team that's not the hockey club? Possibly, maybe. We don't know. We'll discuss. And 3 stars of the week. All coming up in episode 139 of The Kraken Pod. Let's go! Whew, man, I had to take a breath there. What's up? My name is Jeff Januzik. This is my friend and co-host,
Joey Cirillo.
Dude, my cholesterol is 248.
I don't know what that means. Why are we doing this right now?
Well, I'm going through. So anybody who knows that's really fucking high, and it's probably diet, but also stress. And I say that because this team stresses me out more than it should. The Seattle Kraken stress me out more than it should. I'm blaming them. I'm lawyering up, and I'm gonna have them pay for my heart meds. So there you go, my cholesterol meds.
That's entirely your fault. At some point, being somewhat of a Seattle sports fan will beat you down to where you stop caring. You need to disassociate, Jeff. You need to do it for your own health.
It's happening. It's happening. It's cool.
I stopped caring about this team, I think, late November. I mean, honestly, not caring, but like, yeah, if they win, I'm like, oh, cool, look, they won. If they lost, I'm like, hashtag Kraken shit, So yeah. I get it. I talked about this last episode. There's still some folks out there who genuinely hold out hope for this team. That hope is gone. We need to let it go. And we need to talk about the future and work on the future. And I don't want to go into this. I always do this. I get so excited. But, man, talk about the organization pulling a move to finally steer this ship in a particular direction and forcibly get the fan base on the same page.
Yeah, they actually made some moves to show that they're thinking about the future. So let's get into it. Let's get into your Kraken reaction. All right, so a quick review since we last spoke.
Yes.
Kraken lost 4-2 to Edmonton. That game, of course, the first game back for Connor McDavid. Of course, they're going to win. He's going to score a goal. It's just a must. Then we lose 6-4 to the Ducks. Like, what the hell? We beat the Sharks 6-4, which was great. Good. We'll take that. And then we lose to Calgary. This is Monday night, the 3rd of February. We lost to Calgary on Groundhog's Day. So, again, like, the day just repeats, another loss. Although it was a pretty good effort against Calgary. Thought that was a pretty good, a disallowed goal in the first period, which was kind of some BS.
Yeah.
So it was a tight game. Joey Decord played great. Also, too, shout out to Jeff Camilio's 2000th professional hockey game on Sunday night, and
the equipment manager. Oh, sorry, you were
equipment manager. Yes, I was leaving. Yes, because who's played 2,000 games in the NHL? Actually, Jaromir Jagr still playing hockey at 52. There was a highlight of him scoring in some league in Europe and still having some sweet whip. Like he just Anyway, Jeff, I got to look out for Jeff. So it's a Joey podcast, but got to look out for Jeff. So Jeff Camilio, dude, that's awesome. The equipment manager for the Kraken. That's a highlight. That is a highlight. And then the Kraken will host the Red Wings on Tuesday night, which you might be hearing this on Tuesday night or Tuesday. And 3 games remain until they break for the Four Nations face-off.
Yes.
Capo Caco is going to be representing Finland in the tournament that begins on the 12th. He is the only Kraken player who was selected to attend. Team USA is stacked. It's Team USA versus the world right now. There are no tariffs in hockey, but man, everybody's pissed, and I love it. Let's go. I'm not trying to be political here, but I am.
Are you gonna watch
hockey? Yes.
The Four Nations. Are you gonna watch?
Yeah, I'm pumped about this. I looked up tickets. I honestly looked up tickets.
Where are they playing?
They play in Boston and they play in Montreal. In Montreal.
Why are you looking up tickets? You and I both know you're not fucking flying up there.
No. But I just wanted to see.
You be doing that?
Well, we're trying to think of something to do over Mardi Gras break, maybe like, I don't know.
Yeah,
go to Boston.
Good luck convincing the family to fly to fucking Montreal to watch the Fournette year. They would so fast tell you that, yeah, it's not happening, dude.
Some people daydream looking at Zillow, and I like to look at hockey tickets and go, man, maybe I'll go to a game. It's been 20
Montreal
years.
the winner. Let me go ahead and get this elevator pitch to the wife and see how this goes.
Other awesome news from the Kraken, like happy stuff, good stuff, is this. I love this. Ebbs is skating with the team. He's skating. They say
it looks good too.
He does look good. I'm quote a few weeks away from returning. So my guess is obviously after the Four Nations tournament. Like that's incredible. The dude had like revolutionary pelvis surgery. Could literally not walk, and now he's skating. And when he comes back, I'm just going to be so happy. That's going to be a great game. So I'm pumped about that. So
yes.
With all that said, in the last week, man, some shit really hit the fan. Gru blew up in was it Columbus? He blew up in Columbus. Was that right?
It was against Anaheim.
Okay, never mind. It's a blur. So he blows up, and then the next day they send him to waivers. He clears, and he's now at Coachella Valley. Is that correct? Is that the story?
Yeah, that is essentially what happened. I purposefully have not been talking about the games because for the most part, they're fucking depressing. Totally. Yes, the Kraken have lost 3 out of the last 4. The one game they won was against the worst team in the NHL. It was a shootout against the Sharks. They won that game 6-4, like you just mentioned. In the game against Anaheim, Gru goes in. Was it 5 goals on 17 shots on net? And we find out the next day that Gru gets put on waivers. It was the first time that he had played in a game in over 3 weeks, and that was his 5th straight loss. And it was time for Ron Francis to do what needed to be done. And it was fucking brutal, man. So Grubauer, if you want to zoom out and take a look at how this year's been going for him, 5-15-1. With a .886 save percentage and a .383 goals against average. Both of those, by the way, are the lowest in the league.
Statistically the worst goalie.
The worst goalie in the league.
Yes.
And it's a problem. It's gone past the point, like even like the Gru defenders, like, yeah, dude, we get it. Like it's a wrap. And yes, this team, hasn't been performing well either. Like this team is not good, but there is another goalie in net. By the name of Joey Decord, who I don't want to say standing on his head, but has been pretty fantastic. And I don't even have notes on this, but I'll just throw it out there, like some comparisons here. Wins and losses really don't matter, but goals against average, 2.45, which is 1 and change less than Gru, and a 917 save percentage. He is 5th in the entire league in save percentage, 8th in goals against average, and his goals saved, by the way, like above expected totals, like 16.3. That ranks him 3rd in the NHL. So, I mean, he's statistically a top 5 goalie despite what the team is doing around him. Meanwhile, Grubauer is at the bottom of the barrel. So, Ron Francis, WWRD, and Ronnie We Trust, which, that has started to waver with some of the fans. He puts Gru on waivers. I was not worried whatsoever about Gru getting picked up by another team.
Some people were like, "Oh, it could happen."
God, no, not for a split second. That contract is too bad. It's the $5.9 million a year for the worst goalie, in the NHL, and it's not going to happen. He's 33 years old. He has the 5th highest cap it with the Seattle Kraken, and he still has 2 years left remaining on his deal. Now, Jeff, I was curious. I was like, well, what would this look like for the Seattle Kraken? Like, is this a buyout situation? And if you remember, it actually reminds me of like what happened with Campbell when he went to Edmonton and he signed that contract and it was like $5 million a year. And then I think it's like year 2. They let him go and they had to buy him out. If a buyout were to happen for Philipp Grubauer, here's what it would look like. First off, they would be buying him out for the next 4 years. The first year, they would owe him $1.98 million. Year 2, 3.08. It balloons in year 2. And then years 3 and 4, $1.68 million. I would love to get paid $3 million to not work. Like, imagine being so bad at your job to get paid millions of dollars not to do it. So how do you feel about this potential buyout, Jeff? I don't think he is with this organization after this year moving forward. I do think there's a landing spot for him. I don't know if Seattle will try to do a deal where they trade him and retain some of his salary. What do you think will happen? Do you think Gru is going to be with the team?
No, they're gonna get rid of him. I think so. With Gru, I think he was kind of hanging in there. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't remember getting the full story, but remember he showed up to the Kraken it was the fan day, the fan experience.
Yeah,
and it was like 2 months ago.
Holders against the glass, yes,
right. And he showed up with a horrific facial injury, and the story that I had heard was that he had got kicked in the face by his horse, and he's a big horse guy, right? So that tracks. After that moment, like, he lost any semblance of being an NHL goalie. Like, so I think that changed him for the worse. Obviously, if he really truly did get kicked in the face from a horse, like, that's
in the face. Sorry,
that's horrific. So, like, and I'm not trying to, but he just completely went off after that. Like, first of all, he was injured for a little while, and then he just has not been the same since. So, like, I just think that, like, I mean, this sounds crazy to say, but I think he's just done with the NHL. I don't think he's on a team. I think he's, like, out of the NHL for a while. I think something's up with him, and he's lost any semblance of what an NHL goalie should be. Because I think something happened with that injury more than we know, and that's what's going on. That's part of this story here. So no, he's not going to be on the team. They're going to buy him out. They've got to get him out off the books. They got to get him out of the system. They got to move on. And I feel like a lot of that's going to happen with other things during this season and then in the offseason.
Well, the cap is going up, so that'll be helpful. But it still fucking pisses me off that we have to pay this guy because, for the most part, he's been a dumpster fire. And yes, he has done some things for the organization. Like, the playoff run doesn't happen without him, but he has done more bad than good for the team. And I don't care that he's appears to be a nice fucking guy. He's not getting paid millions of dollars to come into our living room and fucking hang out. Like, that's not the job. He's a professional goalie in the National Hockey League, and statistically, he's the worst at it while getting paid a lot of money. And it's incredibly frustrating. Now, I disagree with you. I don't think he's out of the league. But I'm very happy you brought that incident up, because this was a big fucking deal, man. And I can't believe, I really do think that this is maybe like the only professional sport in North America where some shit like this can happen. And it doesn't even really make, any headlines aside from maybe a blurb or two in a local, in a local piece. I don't know what happened. I don't think any of us will ever know what happened, but whatever did happen, I think the horse thing, by the way, is a fucking cover up. I'm going to full tinfoil hat on this. Whatever happened, it was really bad, and it impacted his play on the ice. And I don't like that whatever happened at home has bled over into his professional career, because, again, he gets paid millions of dollars to do his job. I find it inexcusable. And he hasn't been the same since then. He's just lucky that he plays in the NHL and isn't like an NFL player or something like that. Because if this were to fucking happen, people would be digging shit up and finding out exactly what went down. And it is inexcusable, and it is a big deal. And I can't believe that it wasn't really even that talked about, which it's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, no, there's something. I believe it. There could be something else to it, and 100% believe that there is a story we're not hearing. There's a lot of things that happen in sports that don't have to do necessarily with sports when it comes to the reasons why they're not on teams or they get traded or whatever it might be. So, I don't think Gru's coming back, and I think that there are some cornerstones for this team. And then I think there's some guys that are going to be, hey, look, let's find another home for you, figure something out.
Okay. Yeah, agree. I agree with you 1,000,000% on that. I'm just like you and a lot of the fan base now. I think we're ready to turn the chapter. And speaking of that, I do have to mention this really quick. I said it last week. There needs to be a point where the organization stops placating the fans, right? By doing these moves within the organization that they think the fans will approve of. Because at the end of the day, what fans are going to love is a winning team, a team that wins games and competes in the playoffs and all of that. Yeeting the fucking fish and having guys who seem nice only gets you so far. That's just a reality. And this move was necessary. It was necessary for Ronnie Francis to rip the Band-Aid off and send Gru down to waivers. And it was a harsh reality for a lot of people. But now, this is what I was saying last week when I said there needs to be a move that is made where the organization and the fan base all look at everything and then go, okay, now we're on the same page. That was the move. That was it. And it happened 2 days after we recorded, but it was necessary. It doesn't feel all that good. It doesn't feel good for the players. There was a quote from Adam Larson, saying like, yes, we're professionals and we're playing this sport, but you have a guy you've grown close with who is no longer here. He's not in the locker room. He's not on the ice. And that's hard. And that is the hard, shitty part of it. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for the organization. I'm happy that everyone can finally be on the same fucking page with what this team needs moving forward. And a big part of that was putting Gru on waivers.
Before we get into our prospects, and I agree, I think that the guys that are not coming back next season, Yanni's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brandon Tanev, Turbo's gone.
Yeah, that goal he scored, as he scored that 2 nights ago, I was like, great, thank you for the stock rise.
We did need that. I think that Burkowski, I think he's got to go. Got to find a place for him.
Like a hell of a hit against Calgary, and I was like, oh man, it's the last thing this fucking guy needs.
Yep. I think Bjorky. I mean, he's debatable.
I think he stays. I really hope he does stay because he is talented. He actually has shown his talent. I don't think his contract is too crazy either, but we'll see.
Josh Mahura. I mean, he's all right. He's doing okay. He's cheap, so you keep him around.
Yeah.
I think the D core is okay, not too bad. Riker Evans is looking pretty good.
Larson seems to have fallen off a cliff. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that guy.
Well, look, if you look at the stats for the team, they've all fallen off the cliff. Like everybody's. Jared McCann's not scoring goals like he was last season, and there's just a lot of chemistry missing off the team. I think the guys that could benefit from having, maybe a superstar in here or something good, all of them. Like Matty Beniers, Chandler Stevenson.
Don't speak too soon because Matty, Schwartz, and Kakko are like the three that are just seems like they're buzzing at all times right now. It's kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah. Kakko's dude's phenomenal. I mean, he's an RFA, so he's coming back, and he's probably gonna be a $4 million dude, or maybe 3.5, something like that.
No, they're gonna give him 4.5 to 5.
You think so?
Yeah, just look at again. I'm not comparing that. I'm not comparing them from a positional standpoint. I'm just from a market standpoint, like seeing what Will Borgen got in New York, knowing that the cap is going up. Knowing that historically you have to pay players a little bit more to stick around in Seattle, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 4.5 to 5.
One guy that just had so much, and look, this season is a wash for some of these young dudes. Is like Karts. Karts is he's definitely not benefited at all from this just terrible season.
Yeah.
He's not getting anything going, and I love that dude, and I want to see him around here for a while, but how is it his fault necessarily? I don't know, but that'd be awesome to kind of see.
No, I think he's in a bad situation, just like Riker Evans. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yep.
This team has been in Cancun mentally for 2 fucking months, man. It's hard to gauge anyone's productivity when it's just everything looks so incredibly bad at this moment, which again is why ripping off the Band-Aid and making those moves it sets the organization in the right direction. It also sends a message. No one is safe. We don't give a fuck if we're paying you nearly $6 million a year. We don't. If you are not performing, you are not playing. We will send you down, period, point blank. And that needs to be how this organization is ran. This can't be any more, cutesy shit. I mean, it's just, those days are over. They got the franchise absolutely nothing. And it's time for them to make some moves.
All right, so we've talked about we talked about Gru, talked about the guys that are on the team now, and who's going to be around. We're getting some room. We're making some room. Let's talk about these prospects. Where does the Seattle Kraken prospect pool sit with the rest of the league? Because I don't know. And if you just asked me out the blue, I would say, I don't know, last like the team is. I have no idea. I thought it was good, but, I have no idea. So how does the future look for the Seattle Kraken with our prospects?
So this is where the future is still bright with this Seattle Kraken. And again, why I think we need to move off of some veterans and continue to acquire draft picks. Because right now, the Seattle Kraken is 10th overall in the NHL. They're in the top 1/3 of the league in terms of prospect pool rankings. And this is done via Scott Wheeler from The Athletic. He does it every year. And the Seattle Kraken, again, from a prospect standpoint, are still in a very, very good position. If you're unfamiliar with this, I can give like the analogy of like when the Mariners were a bad team, but their farm system was fucking top notch. Like it's literally the same exact thing. And if you wonder, like, okay, well, who's this being led by? What players, are taken into account? Well, they look at everyone that's in essentially the minor league system of this Seattle Kraken, excuse me, and Berkeley Catton, who I was trying to say, dude, the Seattle Kraken would be kind of sweet. That would be the Southern name for the team. The Seattle Kraken.
That's so awesome. That's great.
Fried pork rinds. Yeah. So it's Berkeley Catton, the center for the Spokane Chiefs. He is the dude that you can almost unequivocally say is the number one player for the guy's 19 years old, which is fucking crazy because last year he led the WHL in scoring in 72 games with 120 points, and 54 of those came from goals. He's insane. His skating is really, really sharp. He's just kind of sneaky skater, and the guy can just make plays and score like his fucking life depends on it. He's absolutely incredible. A couple other people, I'm not going to go into stats on his name. Carson Repkov, an absolutely dynamic individual, shooting prowess, great too. You can flip-flop him 2 or 3 with Yager Furcus, the Furcus Circus. You want to talk about a year that he had last year? WHL last year, he won CHL Player of the Year, and he won the WHL title with Moose Jaw. And in 87 games, how about 162 points on 77 goals? I mean, the guy is ready to take the next step up. I mean, holy shit. He's playing at like a video game level. I'm really excited for the Furcus Circus to come up. But yeah, the Seattle Kraken, the prospect pool is looking really, really good. You have Edward Chalet. You have defenseman Ty Nelson, who I fucking love. Remember him from the draft? And the hat he was wearing, he's also got a giant neck on him. Yeah. Yanni Nyman, Ryan Winterton. There's all these guys that are just absolute studs. And I'm all for, again, the Seattle Kraken getting rid of some veterans and continuing to stockpile essentially the farm system for this team because the future is bright for the Seattle Kraken despite how things feel right now.
You know what they say, Joey, is got a big neck, get a big check. So
I've never heard that, but I'm into it.
Just made it up.
Okay.
You ever go to all right, so I love Money Puck and I love Tankathon. I don't know if I know you know Money Puck, but Tankathon's awesome. You got to go check it out.
Is Tankathon just the Seattle Kraken website gets redirected?
No, it is it's a draft simulator for any sport, and it's all ranks teams and what they're going to get in draft and it's really neat. But so if we go to Money Puck right now, we have a 1.4% chance of making playoffs, so that's pretty awesome. Staying steady there, but a 7.3% chance of getting the first overall draft pick in the 25 draft.
Okay,
you go to Tankathon. Now it's fun to do this, and again, you can do this for tons of sports. but you can simulate the lottery pick. And I just did it one time. Okay, I did it one time, and it is saying that Seattle Kraken will pick sixth overall. And in the mock draft, they're going to draft Anton Frondell from Gardens.
You know how Gardens is with churning out those hockey players.
Well, he's Swedish, and Swedish hockey. That's the one. That's Finland and Sweden. Those are the other two teams in the Four Nations face-off. So I don't know if Anton Frondell is there. But anyway, I'll take that.
Bad guy in a Bond movie. Antoine Frondell. Yeah.
He is, according to Tankathon and according to rankings, he's a center, right? So he's the third best overall center.
What is up with all these centers, though? I mean, holy shit, man.
Well, dude, that's the centers are the most important player for the offense. They do it all.
Yeah, no, because we're doing great at developing them.
Look, we got to just acquire talent, and then we'll force them into other spots, and then it'll be fine, man. We're going to be just fine, dude. Come on. Don't panic, okay?
We're going to have an entire fucking...
Just all centers.
Just centers. Underside. They're all going to be 162 pounds, 5'8". And just be out there. They can score like crazy, but they get hit and they just break like ice.
Yeah, just like ice hockey. Remember ice hockey back in the day? You pick all the fast, skinny guys who just get flown, and then the other team just pick all the fat guys. And then
Yep, that's what we did in Washington State. That's exactly how I grew up.
That's exactly right. I love it. All right, so look, this season, Wash, if the Seattle Kraken, to summarize, can look at it black and white, stop looking at it with an emotion. I think they're forced to do this. They make the right moves. They're showing us that they're trying to make, I think, the right moves by working on things like Gru. You know that they're going to do something before if not multiple things, before the March 7th trade deadline.
Yeah.
And then we're also looking at prospects that we're going to play with. I'd love to see somebody come up from one of the minor teams and play a little bit with the Kraken in those last few games. That would be awesome. Then we hit the free agency, and what if we pick somebody up there or figure something out? We drop Gru. We start really planning for the future, acquire draft picks, like you said, and in 2-3 years, we're actually a competitive team. I'm signed up for it, and I'm here for that. Are you? Are you in?
I'm in, man. I mean, I have to have some hope. Otherwise, this team's going to be really fucking hard to watch. I'm all in.
Okay, good. All right. So Super Bowl is around the corner, and we are in the New Orleans area, the host city of the Super Bowl. Joey will talk more about this because he works in hospitality and just like his full force Super Bowl facial. It's just intense. So just, man, everywhere. It's crazy. But DraftKings Sportsbook, Super Bowl action. Get in on it with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59. And I'm glad that they spelled this out for me, because when I look at LIX, I don't know what Super Bowl
I keep forgetting which one it is.
So 59, dude. Scoring touchdowns is key to hoisting the Vince Lombardi trophy, and you've got a shot to score big by betting on them at DraftKings Sportsbook, #1 place to bet touchdowns. And we talk about this all the time. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN for the Hockey Podcast Network. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER and then see our show notes for details. And DraftKings has something else. Have you played Pick 6?
I have not.
I love DraftKings, and I have the DraftKings Sportsbook app. I don't have Pick 6. So check this out. You stop waiting. Get it for Super Bowl 59. It's the last time to play NFL Pick 6 this season. As the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like no one else. Play for better payouts on Pick 6. It's super easy to get started. Select 2 or more players. Choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like touchdowns or yards, sacks, that sort of thing, and you can win. Pick 6 available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. And they are also at Pick 6, making it sweeter for first timers. New Pick 6 customers play $5, get $59 in Pick 6 credits. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to play $5 and get $59 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Again, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER and see our show notes for details. So there you go. All right. Hockey stuff, hockey news. Utah has a logo leak, Joey. Have you seen this? The big news this past week has been like, oh, they're getting close. They're getting down to the final vote for what the Utah hockey team is going to be. And just today, Frank Saravelli, big-time hockey insider, he tweeted just hours ago, can confirm these are the official logos that have been presented to Utah Hockey Club fans as part of their team name vote. Mm-hmm. Now, you can't see these here, but, you know, the final ones are the Utah Hockey Club, the Utah Mammoth, and the Utah Outlaws. And the logos definitely look like a hockey team. The Mammoth is like an angry elephant with the mammoth tusks, little hairy.
That's what everyone thinks about when they think of Utah.
They do. The Utah Outlaws, I swear there's a minor league baseball team that has the same exact logo. I could be wrong. It's a guy in a cowboy hat wearing the bandana mask, right? And then the interesting thing here is there for a while there, I think in the running for the Utah Hockey Club team name was, I think it was the Yeti.
The Yeti,
and they ran into problems because the cooler people were like, yeah, we pretty much own everything Yeti now, so don't even come close to us, or we'll throw a 500-pound cooler at your face.
Ooh.
That was like in legal papers too. They said that they'll do that to you. But here's what's interesting to me is I kind of dig now this is apparently if they just went with Utah Hockey Club, they would use this logo. It's a mountain range, and like the right side of the mountain range is a sideways facing angry Sasquatch face, Yeti face.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was a mountain range there. We're gonna have to tweet this out so people can see it.
Yeah, it's I kind of like that one. Logo wise, I think that's the best logo in my opinion. Overall, if I had to pick a team name and a logo, I got to go with Mammoth, and I kind of think that there's just so much they can do there with just mascots and everything. There's no way they're going to pick Outlaws because I don't think they want to have anything to do with any negative things, you know? And that could be potentially seen as
like
negative.
Train robbing.
Yeah. Train robbing, stagecoach, hijacking. You can't even say that word, you know? So,
or like a mammoth, you could do like a DNA thing, like in Jurassic Park, bring back a woolly mammoth, and then just have that be your mascot and bring it out onto the ice. It's natural habitat.
Dude, that would be
running around. It'd be fucking sweet.
Oh my God. Like, and what if they played when that happened? What's the is it like the flute version of the Jurassic Park theme? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yes. So like that, if they played that as the mammoth like came out of the ice and it was like all scared and shit, you know, because it's like a genetically, lab grown mammoth. And it's like, what the hell's going on? What are these things? People? I don't know what people are. And just like
run around just stomping people to death.
Well, it couldn't though, because it probably would slip on the ice. Because it not only is it
what they're used to, that's their natural environment.
Yeah, but would they be born if you like, did a Jurassic Park and brought the mammoth back? Would it have its natural instincts and be able to run around on ice, or is that just what's in the DNA? Like just the natural instincts? Is that there?
Yeah, the natural instincts are all there. It doesn't miss a beat, dude.
So like so even in Jurassic Park, that's like that. That's why the dinosaurs just did their thing because even though they were grown in the lab,
goes away. Yeah, they're just doing dinosaur things. Yeah, that's exactly it.
So like if I get genetically re-engineered in like a million years, like I'll just still be like a procrastinating schlub that doesn't get much done.
That's exactly it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so cool. All right, my vote's Utah Mammoth. What do you go with?
The Yeti. I know that that's what they won't be called if they hypothetically choose to go down that path. That logo is by far the best one. It's so fucking sick, and I hope they decide to go with it.
You know, I'm thinking with my heart, and I think like the mammoth sounds kind of cool. I think you're right. I do love that logo. I don't like the Utah Hockey Club thing, but I don't know. I do kind of dig Utah Hockey Club. Like when
Me too.
Washington, when the Commanders, changed their name from Washington
Yes.
Football Team or whatever it was. Like I kind of was bummed that they did that.
Me too. It grew on me, and I think that Utah Hockey Club can grow over time. I can see them wanting to wrap everything up and have it nice and clean. If that's the case, then the Mammoth will be the best option for that. But I really hope they stick with the Yeti logo because it would be awesome.
Last thing on that though, dude, is like if they have the Yeti, they're gonna have a Yeti mascot, and then what's gonna happen? And he's gonna be a Yeti, so he's not gonna be Bigfoot. But what's gonna happen when the Sonics come back?
I mean,
is there gonna be like a cryptid fight?
Well, Yeti and Sasquatch are completely different things. Like one's a Bigfoot, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, there would have to be like some sport kind of a thing go down. One's ice hockey, one's basketball. We'll figure it out. We have time.
Yeah. Oh, also too, I thought it was pretty awesome. The other note I have is the Panthers went to the White House today because it's not like President Trump has anything else going on at all. So he did honor the Panthers today. So in between negotiating with Mexico and Canada, he for tariffs, he welcomed the Panthers to the White House. So kudos to the Panthers. They are the best team that plays hockey in Florida.
Yeah, they won.
So I've heard.
Yeah, really good.
Anyway, our 3 stars of the week. This is where Joey and I. That was a terrible joke. Zero reaction from that impersonation. Sorry.
Horrible.
3 stars of the week. This is where Joey and I rank stuff that happens in our personal life. Joey, what's your 3rd star of the week?
You want me to go first?
Do it.
Okay. 3rd star of the week is just, dude, I'm repeating myself. I don't give a shit. I should get paid by Apple TV to talk about this show because I am so fucking into it and I will not stop until everyone is watching it. Severance. It is on another level, man. Like I've talked about before, season 1 was good. I was like, season 2, can't wait for it to be back. We are 3 episodes into season 2, and it is operating on another level than any other TV show going on right now. Everything in it is great. I said this last week too, I believe. I do not care. I'll keep fucking talking about it until everyone's watching it. Do yourself a favor. If you haven't watched it, go watch Severance. I literally signed up for Apple TV just so I can watch this show.
Can you please explain to me really quickly, like in 20 seconds, what I see from like the previews and the commercials and all sort of stuff? It's like some sort of weird dystopian office situation.
Sort of.
It's like, if it's not a comedy, it's like it's.
There's funny part. There's definitely parts to it that are funny, but it's not a comedy.
What can you explain? What is it? Explain to me. Sell me on this. Sell me on this. What is it? I don't want. Am I going to be depressed if I watch it?
No, because people have asked me that, and they're like, "What I get?" I'm like, "No," because it's a mystery box show. So think about like Lost. Lost would be considered a mystery box show, right? You're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. That is what Severance is doing.
Never heard that before in my life. You just blew my mind. I loved Lost. I watched it like 3 or 4 times.
Lost is a mystery box show. As you're watching, you're trying to figure out what's going on. So, but it also combines the elements of sci-fi. It is a sci-fi show. There are elements of that within the show. And you're just trying to unpack and uncover what's going on. You can be a severed employee for this company called Lumen, which basically you go into work and they like wipe your brain. So your person that's working has no idea what your outer self does, aka your outie, and your outie has no idea what your inner work person does, aka your innie. And then naturally shit starts to hit the fan, right? Like your innie self starts to uncover things. Things are not what they seem. There's, communication to the outside. Then there's outie trying to communicate to the inside. Now I'm not giving away anything, but like now you can't even tell which version you're getting. You're like, oh, well, is this the any version of this person or the outer version of this person? Are they pretending to be this version so they can get something? Like there's all sorts of shit going on. It's so fucking good. And the main character played by Adam Scott, who is phenomenal, basically decided to enter this world and to be quote unquote severed because he witnessed a horrible accident where his wife passed away. And he basically was like, I don't want to live my life every day the way I'm living it because I'm fucking depressed all the time and I lost everything that I had. And so he decided to work for Lumen and become a severed employee because it helps him cope with the loss of his wife. And then it all kind of goes from there.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Okay, all right. That sounds pretty cool. Is it so? If you work for Lumen, that's only. It's not like everybody in the world does this for their job. It's just like if you work for that company.
Yeah, you have to work for that. This is the only company, as I know, as we know, that does it. And it would be just like, if you work for that company, Jeff, you go into work, you swipe your badge, you go in the elevator, and on the elevator going up to your floor, the technology literally like wipes your fucking hard drive and puts you into like the inner version of yourself, any Jeff. And then you're at work and you have no idea anything about your outside version of yourself. You're just your inner person. So, and then when you leave for the day, you leave and you become your outer self again.
That's awesome. All right. That's on the list. I'm going to check that out. It's hard. It's, when I watch TV, it's at night. Like, I watch it with Megan. So it's a sci-fi is a tough sell.
It's not as much as you think it is, though. You're not watching like, Jetsons mobiles flying around and shit. It's sci-fi from the sense of like, they're using this technology to do this to people. But aside from that, you're not, this isn't fucking Star Trek.
Yeah, that's okay. That's good. Yeah, no Star Trek for sure.
Yeah.
My third star is anything Tyler Sheridan. I'm into it. It's fine. Like
I don't know who that is.
That's the dude who created Yellowstone.
Oh, okay.
That's the dude who created Landman. That's the dude who created anything that's a spin-off of Yellowstone. He keeps creating shows that kind of have the same formula, but just like he finds a different genre and fills it in. Currently watching a show called Lioness, which is about.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I do really like war shit, man. I like, hey, props to you for serving our country. I just kind of love that stuff. Like anything that's like hardcore, like Marines type shit, like highly trained, best of the best type people who just go in and blah 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 blah, just take everybody down. It's just awesome. It's a lot of adrenaline. All of his shows have something to do with like some sort of like just badass characters, and I think it's really well done. I think there's a lot of he's gonna phase out and fade out here in a couple of years where he's gonna get sick of them. But for now, I really dig it. I really like him. He also puts himself into some of his shows, and characters he plays are badasses, and I think that's kind of cool. So
I like it.
Tyler Sheridan, he's my third star. What's your second star?
My second star, if I can fucking click on it, it's just the Super Bowl things, man. It's day one, 6 more left to go. I'm excited, but I'm also fucking tired. There's all sorts of shit going on, so I'm excited, but I am trying to power through it, and I'm still figuring out like logistics of what this weekend and stuff will look like, and it's a lot. But like even driving around the city right now is really not. It's very difficult to do. So it's here. I'm excited, but as soon as Saturday I'm fucking doing shit all day and all night. But Sunday for the game itself, I will be staying home and watching from my couch, very happily knowing that once the game is over, that's it. So Super Bowl is here. New Orleans is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is nuts. We talked last episode about all the things you have to go to. Anything new or somewhat interesting pop up that you're actually excited to go to, or is it all just like shit? It's stuff I got to do for work.
No, I mean, not really. There's so much going on here. I don't know, man. I don't really get like FOMO, so I just kind of don't give a fuck. But like, there's one like event that did pop up that I'm gonna go check out for like an hour or two on Saturday. It's like the world's longest tailgate. It's like a 60 or 80 foot long, or like food truck kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And there's like a couple of NFL guys that host it, and it's one of them's Chris Long. Now I am a Chris Long fan. Cool. He has a podcast. It's really good. He just looks like a good dude. So he'll be there. Get to meet Chris Long and eat some food, But aside from that, man, no, not really. It's all, I'm excited, but you know how it is. There's so much happening right now.
There's so much happening, and like the negatives are like locals are. You can tell like everybody's starting to like get into their bunkers, get into their holes, and like
Yes.
stay away, and like find ways to stay away. And any major thoroughfare close to the downtown area is either blocked or cut off. And it's bad when all of the secret ways to get around the city are now jammed up and blocked up because everybody's got to go that way. One cool side effect that I, hadn't really paid attention to last time the Super Bowl was here, I just moved here, is and now look, New Orleans is whatever city you live in. Look, New Orleans is pretty rough when it comes to infrastructure. It's hundreds of years old. It's just, basically putting Band-Aids on things to fix it up for hundreds of years.
Yep.
It still is cool to see all the things that get fast-tracked to get fixed. Now, like, are they properly fixed? Hell no. Are there other areas of the city that are getting absolutely neglected right now to make sure that the downtown and Super Bowl area is perfect? Yes. But there's a lot of like new paint. There's new art in a lot of places.
Yeah.
I'm seeing overpasses, like support beams that are colorful and painted, and new murals going up in places. And you know what? That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool to see. So there is some good side effects to it. Also, I saw a video tonight of Kansas City Chiefs players going down Bourbon Street. And nobody really gave a shit. There was nobody around. They were just walking around.
Well, it's smart for them to do it on Monday because the fans, the majority of them don't come in until Wednesday and Thursday. So that was the move for them to be out on Bourbon walking around when there was only a couple people out, because the next couple of days is going to get real fucking busy. And then they're not going to be walking around Bourbon Street on like Friday before the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. My second star is I'm back off the wagon. I'm back off the wagon.
Nice.
I did end up, I think I mentioned it, but I did end up like having a few, I'd say like 6 drinks in total in January.
Okay.
And I'm back off the wagon, enjoyed some beers, enjoyed a little wine, enjoyed some cocktails. I honestly say this, dude, is like, one thing is like, I don't crave it like I did, but I'm only 1 weekend in so far to being back to drinking. So I'm back on off the wagon. I'm back off the wagon again.
Okay. My first star of the week is just the Luka Doncic trade. I mean, holy fucking shit. I don't even, and I wanted to talk to you about this because I think that this is the most surprised I have been by any trade across any major sport in my entire lifetime. And whether or not you watch the NBA or even care for it, it's one of the, like I was getting texts from people I hadn't talked to in like years. I mean, it was fucking insane. And it's hard to fathom. Maybe Jeff, and I know this is really putting you on the spot here, so don't feel pressured or do, but I can't think of like the hockey equivalent of this, but I was like, who would be a top 3 player in the NHL who's 25 years old, so technically hasn't even hit in their peak, and is still under contract by their current team, and out of nowhere, that team ships that person off to another team for a player who's really good and has won a Stanley Cup, but is 6 years older and gets hurt a lot, and also a first round pick in 2029.
So I would say you gotta pick one of the best players in the world right now.
That's top 3 in the NHL. Top 3.
That's youngish.
Yes, young, top 3 in the NHL.
Yeah. So I mean, how old is Nathan McKinnon?
Ooh, that could be a perfect fucking analogy. Now I'm on the Google machine. What about even Cale Makar? I mean, really?
Well, I'm trying to think of like Cale Makar is like obviously the best defenseman in the league.
Yeah, but like a point scorer.
Mm-hmm. So he's 29.
Oh, yeah. Even Nathan McKinnon's 29. I mean, like, you know.
Well, the thing about no, I've actually got a lot to say about this. So we're going to talk for another hour.
Great. Can't wait to I've been yawning so much.
I know, dude. I'm sorry. No, but I have some. You're gonna love this. I don't know if you've seen this, but anyway, it's like that. It's like me trading, like, let's say Nate McKinnon at 27 years old for Alex Ovechkin. You know what I mean? Like,
that's actually a great analogy. Yeah, like a 25-year-old. Well, I think he turns 26 this month, but 26-year-old Nathan McKinnon for OV now.
Mm-hmm.
Right, by the way, no record chasing, and like a first round pick later on. You'd be like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
Exactly.
And even then, I would argue that could be a bad, because is Nathan McKinnon a top 3? Luka Doncic is a top 3 player in the NBA,
in the world.
Like, he's fucking phenomenal. I mean, like, this guy, there's a random stat. So he's been voted first team All NBA. He's been first team All NBA 5 times. He has already in his career been first team All NBA voted more times than Steph Curry. And that's fucking insane. And he's, again, 25 years old, and he hasn't even technically hit his peak yet, which is fucking bananas, because this guy will put 40 points on you in his sleep. It's insane to me. And it's also such a cheat code, because the Lakers just found a way to reset their franchise and got their next superstar for when LeBron is gone, because they'll have him for the next decade.
Did you read? I just saw this. I think this just today started going around. But did you see this theory from this guy named Christopher D. Cradaville?
No, I feel like you just made that name up. And who the fuck are we talking about?
No, I gotta send you this.
Okay. All right.
So he maps out why he thinks this happened.
Okay? I would be very curious to hear it.
So basically, he points to this is the Mavs have new ownership, right? New ownership group. Like, Mark Cuban is like just, he's got nothing basically left. Like, they sold out, right?
Yeah, you see Mark Cuban's text got leaked, by the way.
I did not see that.
An ex-Mav texted him, and he was like, what the hell? I'm so confused. And he was like, yeah, that makes 2 of us.
Well, here's what's going on is the Adelsons, right? That's Adelson Dumont ownership group.
Yes.
They have said that the Mavs are basically just a way to get them into creating a huge destination resort casino in Dallas. And they wanted to do this, right? And they wanted to do this, I guess, this session to getting a bill through Congress, but they missed the mark. Okay, so they couldn't do that. They had to change. They had to do everything they could. They pumped money to political to try and change and get this legislation approved so they could do this huge thing around the Mavericks and create this giant casino resort. But they couldn't do it. They lost. It didn't happen. So the next session, right, where they could do something and get this approved, this huge dream of theirs, is in 2 years. So the thought here is that they needed to do something to make Dallas fear that they would move the team to Las Vegas. So this whole theory, which goes on and on and on, is that they basically are submarining the Mavs on purpose so that the team is sucky. Fans are pissed. They stop following. They're not popular anymore. And they don't sell tickets. They're starting to be a black hole. And again, they said they only care about money. And then the plan, it would be this is when people start bitching and being like, oh, I don't want to go to the games. They say, well, guess what we're going to do? Then we know the NBA would love a team in Las Vegas. So we're just going to move the team to Las Vegas. And then everyone's going to go, whoa, 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 whoa. No, don't do that. Don't do that. We want to keep these guys here. And then that's when they say, okay, well, we got to do this thing to make this thing happen, and we'll build it into a great thing. So what they've done is they've traded away the best player in the world, arguably, for Anthony Davis, right? And nothing, a first-round pick. Like, one of the things that are brought up in this whole thing is like, why didn't they get 5 first-round picks? They don't want to be good for years and years and years. So people are not caring about the Mavericks, and then they can threaten to move the Mavericks because it makes sense because nobody cares about them. But then everybody's going to say, oh, no, stay here. We want you to stay. We want this team. And the NBA is like, hey, you're a top 5 market in the States. You got to stay here. Then they have their leverage to get what they want, which is really just a huge resort casino. And also, by the way, too, the NBA loves this deal because guess who just, joined the ranks of Shaquille O'Neal and, all the players that have gone on to the Lakers and had much success after getting like one of the best players in the NBA, and they win a championship, and the arguably most famous NBA franchise ever is winning championships. That's what's going to happen. So the whole thing, and I'll send this to you. It's awesome. It is so well laid out. It's like, that's absolutely what happened. That's absolutely what happened. There's nothing to do with him as a player. It all is a power play to try and get billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars made through casino resorts in Texas and change some laws around. There you go.
I don't know if I buy it, but I'll read it.
Dude, I thought I had you. I wasn't looking at your face when I read that.
No.
You're just too tired. All right, I'm going to send that to you. You got to read it, dude. Like, it is. I'm amped. I'm going to be up for hours just reading this. It's great.
What's your first star?
Oh, first star, Mardi Gras balls. Mardi Gras balls.
Okay.
I had a good time at the ball this weekend. My wife was hot as shit.
Nice.
Looked awesome. And Cleopatra, we're into Mardi Gras season. I'm ready for the Super Bowl to be gone so we can get back to what's important, which is Mardi Gras season and parading.
Yep.
And went this weekend to a big old party, drank some drinks, didn't get bombed, which was awesome, but still had a great time.
Okay.
Learned about a band that sucked, went into another ballroom where the band was really good and had a blast, danced, and went home. And that was it. So Mardi Gras season is here. Wore tuxedo. It's pretty badass. All good. So
that's awesome, man. I'm glad you had a chance to go. It sounds like a blast.
It was. All right, dude. Get some rest. Rest up for Super Bowl. I want to see some Super Bowl shit going on.
I'm working on it. I'm tired. I haven't had any fucking time, honestly.
Tweet some shit from the Kraken account from Super Bowl coverage, please, okay?
Oh,
I ain't going down. There's nothing going on with the Kraken, dude. Like, you can be a roving reporter for one tweet a day from the epicenter of the Super Bowl.
You still have 3 games up before the break, man.
Come on, man. Just think about it.
All right.
Now you'll know when you're down there, you're like, shit, I should do something like that. Okay. Just post pictures without any text. Just say, just copy Joey's coverage from New Orleans for Super Bowl.
I'll just like grab a couple of like famous people, take a photo with them, no context, just post it. Like, boom, there you go, done.
Just do the most, just like the Kraken, just like the most lackluster effort for Super Bowl coverage.
Yeah.
And that's what we should put out.
Treat the Super Bowl like Ron Francis has been treating this season with the players.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do it.
I can do that. Yeah. No effort.
I'll go down there for 20 minutes and I'll crush you. I'll just do it.
Okay. Are you going to go, by the way? You going to take Ford to anything?
We got soccer all weekend, dude. And I know, I'd have to check him out of school a little early to go down because Saturday we're going to be at soccer all day, and then I'm not going near that place on Sunday.
Oh, hell no. Are you crazy? Even Saturday is going to be nuts, man.
Right. So I'd have to take him during the week, and the free play thing at the convention center, which is what I want to take him to.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even start until 2 in the afternoon. And by the time we get down there, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just it's banana. It's bananas. So
I know, dude. I'm already dreading and not even fucking there. I get it.
It is once in a lifetime, and my son does love football, so we'll see.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, all right, dude.
Well, all he has to do is guilt you. That's all he has to do, and you'll be down there so fast.
I ain't said shit about it. He knows Super Bowls this weekend. He's forgotten about that whole thing. He's 9. So
I'm gonna send him some articles.
All right, dude. Get some sleep. Let's go Kraken. We need some more forward progress this week. Let's do some. Let's
tank some more games. We get the first pick.
Let's tank but we also got to get some power moves going on. Come on, let's go. All right, Joey, have an awesome week, man. Good luck down there. Appreciate what you're doing, and you have a great week too. We're gonna leave you with the Kraken Pod chirp of the week.